And welcome. Have you ever built a program and wondered, hey, how do I actually save stuff so it doesn't just disappear when I close it? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today. We're going to make your data last. In just a few minutes, you'll get the hang of file writing using Java's FileWriter.
Okay, so let's think about this. Up until now, your program has probably only been reading data, right? You're pulling information in. But what happens when the program stops? Poof! All that data in memory is just gone. So how do we get it to stick around?
Well, the answer is file writing. And you know what? The core idea here is actually super simple. If you already get how to read a file, you're pretty much halfway there. File writing is just doing that whole process in reverse.
So let's really lock in this idea, this conceptual shift. It all comes down to which way the data is flowing. Check this out. This makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? When you're reading, data flows from the file to your program. It flows in. But when we're writing, we just flip that around. Data flows out of your program and gets saved into a file.
All right, enough theory. How do we actually do this in our code? Let's meet the simplest tool for the job, the FileWriter class. Okay, take a look at this snippet. It's about as straightforward as it gets. First, we create a new FileWriter object, and we tell it the name of the file we want to create. In this case, output.txt. Then, we use the .write method to send it some text. And finally, we call .close. Simple as that.
So, what was Java really doing behind the scenes? Well, first, it got the file ready. And get this, if output.txt didn't even exist, Java just made it for you. Pretty cool, right? Then the write method sent our text over. And that final closing method? Absolutely crucial. It's what actually saves the changes to the disk and then releases the file so other programs can use it.
Now, this all seems super easy, but it leads to one of the most common and frustrating problems for new developers. Let me show you what I mean with a real-world story.
Yeah, this is a real quote from a developer. They were trying to save high scores in a game, but every single time they saved a new score, the old one just got erased. Sound familiar? I bet it does. This is a super common trap.
And the reason why is all about FileWriter's default setting. When you create it the simple way, its default mode is basically erase and replace. It treats the file like a blank slate every single time.
Okay, but don't worry, the fix for this is actually incredibly simple. We just have to tell FileWriter, hey, I want to add to this file, not wipe it out. So here's that original line of code, right? The one that gives us all the trouble. Just keep that constructor in your head for a second. And bam! This is the solution. It's so simple, it's brilliant. We just add a second argument, the Boolean true. That little true tells FileWriter to switch into append mode. Now, instead of erasing, it just adds our new data to the very end of the file. That's it. Problem solved.
Okay, so we fixed the overwriting problem. But there's one more really important part of file handling we need to nail down. Closing the resource safely. And I mean every single time.
It's just one little line of code, close. So it's easy to forget. But what actually happens if you do?
Oh, the dangers are pretty serious, actually. For starters, your data might not even get saved. It could be stuck in a buffer that never gets written to the disk. Even worse, you're creating a resource leak. The system can only handle so many open files, and if you don't release them, your whole app could eventually crash. And on top of that, the file might stay locked, so nothing else can even use it. So how do we make sure this never happens? Well, the old school way was to use this clunky try finally block. You can see it on the left. It's a lot of code and it's super easy to mess up. But thankfully, since Java 7, we have a much better way, the try with resources statement. Just look how clean that is on the right.
And just to be clear, this isn't just a nice to have. This is how professional developers do it. Try with resources is the modern standard because it makes it literally impossible to forget to close the file.
And here's the magic of how it works. Step 1, you declare your FileWriter right inside the try parentheses. Step 2, you write all your logic inside the curly brackets. And that's it. For step 3, Java does the work for you. It automatically calls close the moment that block is done. So safe, so clean. So why does any of this matter? Because you're going to see file writing everywhere. Think about it. Application logs? That's file writing. Exporting data to a CSV file? File writing. Saving your progress in a game? You guessed it. All of this stuff relies on the exact concepts we just walked through.
All right, that was a lot, so let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways before we look ahead. Okay, let's boil it all down. Need to write simple text? FileWriter is your best friend.
The secret sauce is adding that little true to switch to append mode so you don't lose your data. And the golden rule? Always wrap it in a try with resources block for safety. If you remember those 3 things, you're golden.
But we've talked about safety and simplicity. What about speed? What happens when you're not writing a few lines, but huge files, megabytes, maybe even gigabytes of data? Is FileWriter really the best tool for that job?
And that's the exact question we're going to answer in our next explainer. We're going to dive into BufferedWriter, a class built for high-performance file writing, and we'll see exactly when and why you need to use it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.